In today's sports update, we'll go south of the border with the top golfers in the world for the WGC Mexico Championship. Then it's down to South Louisiana, where if you haven't noticed what's going on in Baton Rouge with the LSU Tigers men's basketball team, you may want to start paying attention. All that coming up after the break, so stay tuned. Welcome back, I'm James Farrar, and this is what's making headlines in today's sports update. A schedule change implemented by the PGA Tour this year, moving the Players' Championship up 2 months to the middle of March, less than a month before the Masters, has forced many of the top players to make changes to their schedules as well, playing more at the beginning of the year than they have in the past. That's meant early season tournaments that typically don't draw the biggest fields have become star-studded events, like the WGC Mexico Championship over the weekend down in Mexico City. The field for the event featured 14 out of the top 20 in the current World Golf Rankings, including Tiger Woods, who was making his first ever start in an event played in Mexico. As always, Tiger drew the largest crowds as he was the guy fans wanted to see. He played pretty well too, finishing in a tie for 10th at 8 under par. But it was Dustin Johnson who owned the weekend with shot after shot that had even his competition shaking their heads in disbelief. Johnson had a 4-shot lead going into the final round, saw it get cut in half to 2 shots by Rory McIlroy as he tried to mount an early challenge over the first 3 holes, but that's when Johnson decided to turn it on and no one got any closer to DJ's lead the rest of the day. Johnson had the lead back up to 4 shots by the time he made the turn, and coming down the final stretch, he birdied 10, 11, 13, 14, and 15 to finish at 21 under, 6 shots clear of the second place McIlroy and a full 10 shots ahead of third. For Johnson, it's the 20th win of his career overall and the 6th time he's won a WGC event. Since the WGC or World Golf Championships began in 1999, Johnson's 6 wins in the series are second only to Tiger Woods, who's won it an unreal 18 times. Over to college sports now, and everyone who has ever lived in the state of Louisiana knows that football has and always will be king on the LSU campus. In fact, if you were to start ranking the hierarchy of LSU sports, it may be a while before you get to the men's basketball program. Except for a few standout seasons like the 3 Final Four runs, the Pistol Pete years, or more recently the Shaquille O'Neal years, there hasn't been much worth paying attention to coming out of the men's basketball program over the years. This year looks like it could be one of those exceptional years, though. The Tigers entered the weekend 21-5, ranked 13th in the country, but were facing a tough test at home with the 24-2 5th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers coming in to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge, looking to tighten their grip on the SEC regular season championship. It took a career-high 29 points from freshman guard Javonte Smart, but after Smart hit 2 free throws with 0.6 of a second remaining in overtime, it was the Tigers who came out on top, 82-80. The win puts LSU into a tie for first in the SEC with Tennessee and Kentucky, as all 3 teams are 12-2 in conference play. LSU doesn't have a single opponent left on their schedule that's currently ranked, while Tennessee and Kentucky still must play each other. That, combined with LSU holding wins over both of those teams in their only matchups of the season, and the Tigers could now be in the driver's seat for the SEC regular season title. That's something they've only done 5 times in the last 30 years, with the most recent coming after the 2009 season. Well, that's all for today's sports update. I do this thing every Monday and Wednesday, so make sure you tune in. Now let's send it back over to the news desk.